RIP Gingerbread Man. Tonight was a celebration of life for Ginger, and well, we need to soldier on, people. And I know there are WWE fans out there who actually don't like this entire plot, this entire story of the Gingerbread Man and having a funeral for him. And I do though. I do. I don't think it's like, haha, a gingerbread man is dead and everybody buys it. I think what the joke here is that Trick Williams is going to such extreme lengths to get under the skin and troll Sami Zayn. And then Sami can't fathom how everybody is playing along. That's the joke. Sami broke it down perfect. How can we have a SmackDown segment, the main event SmackDown segment, be devoted to a gingerbread man, and then people still boo him? So Sami Zayn in his head, it almost reminds me of Bret the Hitman Hart when he was turning heel against the Americans, believe it or not, because Bret kept saying, why are you cheering this guy? He swears, he cheats, he's a degenerate, and everybody just cheered more and more. And Bret Hart's like, I'm the hero here. Sami Zayn is like saying the things that people are actually saying. Why are we wasting our time on a gingerbread man story? And yet those people even who hate the segment are still cheering Trick Williams and booing Sami Zayn. So Sami just can't fathom it, and that's what makes this whole storyline funny, to me at least. I mean, you're free to have any opinion you want, but I love that Trick is willing to go to such great lengths. Sami even said, man, like, I thought you said nothing gets in the way of your money, and then Sami broke it down. You paid for a casket, a choir, who, by the way, were off key. Sami's such a brilliant heel. I loved it. He's like, that kind of wood, I forget what he said, but like mahogany or something, that's not cheap. That's not cheap. He's like, the refreshments, the roses, I looked it up. That cost a lot of money. Sami Zayn broke it down how much, just the extreme lengths that Trick Williams has gone to just to get under the skin of Sami. And then he even says, but you did. Congratulations, you did. But Sami's like, but it doesn't matter. I've been here. I lasted bigger, tougher guys than you, and I'm gonna outlast you. And Sami actually knocks him down. And for a minute, I'm like, man, just one punch took Trick Williams down, but Trick was faking it. Well, he wasn't faking the punches. Like, he got hit, but I don't think Trick fought back on purpose because we had the Ginger Taker sit up, and it's Lil Yachty. He comes out, hits him with the cane, Sami Zayn with the cane, and it's all a trap. It was all a trap. Trick Williams spent so much money just to have a beatdown of Sami Zayn, and I love it. I love that because, you know what? I'm just tired. I'm just tired of someone doing an interview and then you attack him from behind. Give me a gingerbread man funeral to set up an attack any day of the week. It was hilarious. Trick Williams even did a song. He had a glass of milk and he poured one out for his homie Ginger. And throughout the night, they're showing us, like, now haters are going to say it's AI, but like, he's showing us images of Gingerbread Man in these really, like, historic moments, when Austin's being arrested at the Joe Louis Arena. I should have been there that night, but I wasn't. The body slam Hogan on Andre the Giant WrestleMania 3. When Kurt Angle had the milk truck, just funny stuff. And I guess Ginger was a streamer also. He did reactions. Hopefully he didn't get copyright striked by WWE. But yeah, no. To me, it's great stuff. Honestly, you know what I didn't like about the whole Gingerbread Man thing? I think last week it was okay for Joe Test to sell it hard, but I don't think he should have sold it hard this week. Joe Test doesn't seem like somebody who, like, his character would allow him to bow down the integrity of being a commentator to just go along with a Trick Williams joke. And I don't think Rey Fenix should have sold it either. Now, R-Truth, Johnny Gargano, that's fine. They're in comedy stuff right now, but Rey Fenix, He has no problem with Sami Zayn, so he should not have been in the funeral to sell that the Gingerbread Man was, actually legit RIP. Now, Largaza's fine because they're heels, and Trick Williams technically is still a heel, so he could talk his fellow heels to doing it. But I don't think Rey Fenix should have sold it, but I do like that Sami was like, what is going on here? How can we be doing this? He's the only sane person in the crazy world because we're all just booing him. It was so freaking funny, in my opinion, and that's why I like it. That's why I like the Gingerbread segment. And also what I like are subscribers, and I would like you to subscribe, and then you can win this belt if you do, because subscribers who comment below have a chance to win this belt right here at 30,000 subscribers. Gonna mail the 20,000 subscriber belt that I did the giveaway for that. I'm gonna mail it on Tuesday, I believe, but yes, you can win this belt right here. It's not a toy, it's a replica, so subscribe and comment. What about the rest of the show? Fun fact though, not really a fun fact, but you know what I noticed tonight? That Backlash, 3 out of 5 of the matches are based around mentor-mentee. Io Sky is the mentee of Asuka. Asuka was the senpai, her mentor. We have Danhausen was trying to become the mentee of The Miz, but The Miz took on Kit Wilson. And then what was the other one? Oh, and then Braun Breaker was the mentee of Seth Rollins. Isn't that like... Yeah. Some things they do use AI on, apparently. Storytelling. But that's Backlash. This is the one take, one shot SmackDown review where I do it immediately following SmackDown so you get my raw gut reaction. My gut reaction. Ooh. Oh man. Oh, kidney failure. I'm just one large medical bill away from bankruptcy. All right. I don't know why I said that. Jacob and Jacob Fatu, he comes to the ring. He's definitely getting better. He's definitely getting better on the microphone. And the Usos come out. And Jacob is like, nobody was saying nothing to me. You guys always looked at me like a failure. But now that I'm challenging for Roman, suddenly people want to be nice to me. And Jay was like having flashbacks. He's like, man, you don't understand. When you get into the ring against Roman, he's gonna like humiliate you, all these things right in front of your family. You need to acknowledge him. Like, way to sell that one, Jay. Jay having flashbacks of his SummerSlam match and his Hell in the Cell match. But yeah, Jacob's like, no, I'm going to die. I'm going to die before I acknowledge him and not win this title. So can Roman say the same? We had a Jacob and Powerhouse Hobbs. They had a little, like, I like that. I like Jacob and Powerhouse Hobbs. I want to see more of that. I don't want to see more of Powerhouse Hobbs and Solo Sikoa, though. I'm kind of tired of them treating Solo Sikoa like as a manager or a jobber or a guy to just get others over. I wish they would try to get Solo over a little bit here and there. And then the Usos will talk to Powerhouse Hobbs also and say, yeah, you better not... You better not get involved. You better not get involved. You don't want the wrath of the tribal chief. The first match of the night was Kiana James versus Tiffany Stratton. It was a fine match. Tiffany does win, and the story here is, I think, the breakup of Kiana and Julia, and I think we need to do that quick. In fact, break them up and send Julia over to Raw as a babyface. I think we would do that. But the match itself was whatever, fine. Talatonga versus Damian Priest. This was a surprisingly good match. I didn't know what I was like. I was not expecting much, and I actually enjoyed it. And I felt it went maybe a little too long, but still kind of cool. There was one time where Talatonga had Damian Priest up for a suplex. Like, wow, Damian Priest is a tall guy, and so was Talatonga. So, like, Damian Priest was like, his feet were probably 15 feet in the air by the time he took the drop. Talatonga gets the biggest win of his career. eventually R-Truth is going to come in, right? R-Truth is going to try to save the day, which will cost Damian Priest the match because R-Truth starts to get beat up, you know? And then when after the match, Solo and his boys, the MFTs, who are only now Tamatonga and Tamatonga and Talatunga because JC Mateo hate that name, and Tunga Loa, the real tribal chief, were released by TKO. And so as they're about to beat up R-Truth, then Powerhouse Hobbs comes for the save. This will set up a match between Tamatonga and Powerhouse Hobbs later in the night. That match was actually okay. It kind of, again, I feel like it kind of went a little too long. If this had been a 2-hour SmackDown, I think it would have been a good SmackDown. But because it was 3 hours, parts of it felt like a chore to watch. And I just feel that this should have been a quicker matchup. But Powerhouse Hobbs did win, and Solo Sikoa didn't help Tamatonga, because Tamatonga got mad at Solo and was like, why did we let Powerhouse Hobbs, why did we beat him down? And Solo was like, we're trying to recruit him. And Tamatonga's like, no, I'm gonna go out and do something about it. So Solo didn't help him at all to teach him a lesson, because he's like, yeah, you know, what happened, Tamatonga? You weren't able to beat Powerhouse Hobbs. So yes, Powerhouse Hobbs, he won. We then had Mark Cardona. He was called QB4 from Ricky Saints, and Ricky Saints then goes out and proves that he is QB4, and he beats him. So Matt Cardona, he lost. That's pretty much what I gotta say. It was very much a dead crowd. I think we need to get Ricky Saints in some kind of big program, because the fans don't seem to be really feeling him just yet. I'm not saying that as a bad thing or a good thing. I'm saying that as an observation. So I think we need to, instead of just letting Ricky Saints' matchups be the thing that get him over, I think we need to give him an actual program, a storyline, a big old storyline. Oh, by the way, Truth comforted Sami Zayn and said, I see the family resemblance at the funeral. That was pretty funny. We had the women's division was like crazy tonight, though. It went completely bonkers. We have Paige and Brie mode. She comes out, and then you have JC Jane and Fatal Influence come out. Then you have Nia and Lash come out. The crowd starts singing Whoop That Trick, because if you didn't know, Lash Legend and Trick Williams, they're engaged, but Nia was able to play it off. Because I don't know if Lash knew what to do, and this is why it's really good to have Nia actually paired with Lash, because it helps her navigate these things now that she's on the main roster. But and maybe Lash could have done it, I don't know, but Nia jumped in and was like, yeah, trick. She called Fatal Influence all tricks, and that was kind of funny, and the crowd had to shut up because of it. And then they beat the Nia, the Irresistible Forces beat down the champions. They start to walk away, but then we start the matchup where we have Rhea Ripley come down, stare down with Lash, gets in the ring. Charlotte, Alexa come in. They fight Fatal Influence. At some point, Jade Cargill interferes, but the ref doesn't see it, but the ref had to obviously not look in that direction, so kind of buried the ref. I wish Jade should have interfered, pulled Rhea off the apron, and then hid better, but she didn't hide. But whatever, 1, 2, 3. Then Jade starts beating everybody up, and B-Fab and Meacham come in. So it was just it was a free-for-all. I think there was how many women is that? We have the Irresistible Forces, then the 6 participants in the matchup, and then 3 more Jade. That was a lot of people. Let's just say that. I ran out of fingers. No, I think it was 9, or 8. Regardless, what else happened on SmackDown? I think that might be it. Oh no, there's something else. I know something else happened. Oh, Ms. Danhausen. There was a point where they go up to Danhausen. He's trying to get people to sign up to be his mystery partner. They laugh at him because he doesn't have a mystery partner. And they're like, the only person stupid enough to be your partner is this person. And Kit Wilson holds up a mirror, and Danhausen sees it, and he's like, oh, you're right. So Danhausen then goes later in the night, tries to clone himself. He's trying to clone himself. This is where I think we're a little, if we actually bring out a Danhausen clone, to me that is going to be a little too much. I do like goofy wrestling, but there's a fine line. There's a fine line. Like I said, I love the Gingerbread Man stuff, but I didn't like that Rey Fenix was selling it. I love the Danhausen stuff, but if there's an actual clone, I'm probably not going to like that, but I am going to hold judgment because I was a little iffy on Danhausen when he first appeared, but the next night on Raw, he did win me over real quick. So Danhausen has earned some like trust where I'll be like, okay, let me just wait and see how this plays itself out. I'm a little apprehensive if it's a clone, but if it's just like, what if we open the door of the box where the clone is supposed to come out and it's like Powerhouse Hobbs and paint or something? I don't know. Then, and we just say it's a clone. There's definitely room. Oh, you know what I forgot? One of the biggest talking points we have. So Cody first it's Paul Heyman. Paul Heyman goes to Nick Aldis, and it's like, all right, this is the contract. Then Gunther comes in, and Gunther, it sounds like Gunther has cashed in his favor to fight Cody Rhodes. And Paul Heyman's like, yes, we got it. But then Cody Rhodes' music hits, and Gunther gets mad and walks away. So then Paul Heyman says, I'll handle this. He goes to the ring, and he says, Cody, you got to have a matchup with Gunther at Clash in Italy. And then here's the contract. I need you to sign it, basically. And then as he's leaving, Cody says, wait a second. Why are you here? If you're not with Gunther, then what are you doing here? You don't got Roman, you don't got Punk, you don't got Brock Lesnar anymore. And then Paul Heyman teases, they eventually all come to me. And he's teasing a Cody Rhodes heel turn, which I'm like, oh, cool. I like that. Planting seeds. Hopefully these seeds actually grow into a plant because because a lot of drop storylines. Heck, Kairi Sane is a drop storyline, and then she ends up getting fired by WWE. We never get payoff for that. So is this going to be paid off, or are we just supposed to forget about it? But Gunther will attack Cody Rhodes, and then Cody will fight him off. And then Cody's like, I'm easy to find, hard to beat. I guess that's Cody's new catchphrase, and Gunther kind of just leaves. But I don't like this though, because I'm fine with Gunther versus Cody, but why would Gunther cash in a favor? Because there's no reason for Gunther to have to cash in a favor to get a title shot against Cody Rhodes. Because A, you're allowed to just cross brands. Jacob Fatu is actively crossing brands to fight Roman Reigns, so why can't Gunther actively cross brands to fight Cody Rhodes? Cody Rhodes isn't ducking anybody. He's easy to find, hard to beat. So therefore, Gunther could just walk up to him. And last week, Ricky Saints did just walk up to Cody, and Cody just granted him a title shot. So Gunther wouldn't need to use his favor. I get it. The favor was probably to face Brock Lesnar in a retirement match, and now that Brock has been moved to the alumni section of WWE.com, that we just have to, there's no... I don't know, there's just that storyline has been it's not in play anymore. But still, it still doesn't make sense. Just because the story has now changed because of real world circumstances doesn't mean we just throw it away. Have Gunther hold it over Paul Heyman's head for years. Have him just hold it over his head for years even. Because there's just no reason for Gunther to make Paul Heyman to do that. No reason whatsoever. I mean, Rhea Ripley even is a Raw. She's on Raw. She's a Raw woman that just happens to hold the SmackDown title. That's why she's on SmackDown. That's the only reason she's on SmackDown. So if Gunther had to come to SmackDown to be the SmackDown champion, no, he didn't. No, he didn't. Just, you just got to make it make sense, people. You just got to make it make sense. But regardless, we'll have Gunther versus Cody Rhodes at Clash in Italy. Maybe the favor could have been that we have the match in Italy and that Cody Rhodes can't face anybody anymore. And Gunther could be like, because I want to win my title in Europe. We just had to add a couple little sentences, and that could have been it. The favor could have literally been Cody's not allowed to defend his title again until Italy, when I get a chance to win it on my country, on my home turf. And that could have been the favor. Also, let's forget the fact that why does Paul Heyman have such negotiating power? How does he have such negotiating power when he's just the manager of the Vision? Anyways, that's my one take, one shot review. What did you think, boys and girls? I'm going to give it a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 6.5 on the Chopometer. The final segment really saved the day for me. This was just, things are just a little too drawn out, but overall, I'm going to give it a 6.5. I think that's it. Think that is it. Royce Keys, Jade Cargill, Paige. Yep, okay. There you go. Boys, girls, see ya, bye. Oh, we are going to live stream Backlash tomorrow. Backlash!